Hello there and welcome to a little online battle, me playing as the Slaughterhorn tribe and bringing some of the new units against the Lizardmen. But unfortunately we don't have the new Lizardmen units in that army, just a pretty meta normal Lizardmen double Bastiladon that we always see. Maybe that'll be changed up, we'll see what these Beastmen boys could do about it. But this will at least show you some of the new Beastmen units in action. Up front I've got 3 units of Goreherd with shields, and as these are the Slaughterhorn tribe, they are red. They look like they're corn beastmen, right? They've been working for the big man. But this is just the colour of Taurox's faction, the Slaughterhorn tribe. But 1 unit of raiders for some missiles, a couple of units of minotaurs with shields. So just a shielded version, just in case there's any lizard missiles piping away at us. Also got the big boy, the Gorgon, the anti-large, armor-piercing, massive single large monster. He's going to be looking to take out any of the dinos that may be running around. In this case, the Bastiladons. And it looks like he's been doing his squats. That is a well-molded ass. They put the work into that. Nice. If you're into goat bums, you're going to like this DLC. Then we've also got the other mad lad, the Jabberslith. Another single entity monster. This one with a damage over time effect like the Mortis engine when it's simply stuck into melee, amongst other things. So a nice damage dealer, albeit maybe a little bit slow on the damage. Doesn't put out its damage quickly, but it does just rack up the damage over time. I've also got a Deathcaster on the new Tuskor Chariot. These are pretty much just an inferior version of the Razorgore Chariot, except they have Vanguard deployment, which is nice. They are incredibly spiky piggies on the face. And of course, my big boss man is Taurox himself, the Brass Bull, just a massive damage dealer all round, and who is pretty freaking tough. So we got a pretty large, heavy army, lots of big boys, only a little bit of infantry. I've also got the new Skirmish Cav over here, the Regiment of Renowned Throwing Axes. Groghooves of Wolves Run. These are basically the normal throwing axes, but they have regeneration and poison. So they are very hard to catch and very hard to kill. And over on the far side, Vanguard deployed, I've got some Centaurs with great weapons. And I was able to deploy on this kind of side rather than right in the corner. So you do get some nice deployment zones on this map. Useful for the Beastie Boys. We're kicking it off though. Lizardmen army, fairly standard Lizardmen army. Couple of chameleons up front. Bunch of Saurus as a front line. Spears around here somewhere as well. I think there's some in the trees there. Also got a big boy, 2 Bastiladon solar engines. These are pretty much all you ever see in multiplayer these days. Got Krokgar on Grimlock, so anti-large lord. And then a couple of cavalry, spear cavalry, also anti-large. And I think that is about the gist of it for the Beastmen. Oh, he does have a caster as well of beasts. Just dropped a flock of doom on some of my boys in the middle. And this army that I've brought is by no means a well-built army, shall we say. I'm just bringing a bunch of the new units so you can see them all in action and I can kind of test them out in a sort of multiplayer situation. Because, you know, facing the AI is all good in that, but multiplayer is really where you can see how things perform. Moving my cheeky Centaur great weapons up to try and get a little cheeky flank on. Just turn my trees off. There we go. So they can put in a little flank when they're ready. Trying to get a few throwing axes off. Getting a bit shot up by the chameleons though. Charge coming in here for the 2 calves. Going to pound into one of my Goreherd. I'm going to bring over the Gorgon though to try and counter that, as well as Taurox as well in a second. We'll see how well they can take on that anti-large cav. My infantry going to meet theirs. Jabberslith going in, getting stuck into some Saurus. Go on, big lad. Dive in. Stop thinking about it. Just do it. There you go. Oh, got shot by a Bastiladon on the way down. But he can take a hit or two. He's not the toughest monster in the world, but he's still got a little bit of something. A little something. Bringing them a Chariot Lord to try and slow down some Saurus. These Cav have not survived well against Taurox and the Gorgon. Probably should have pulled those away a little bit sooner. Got my Minotaurs after Krokgar, who's dived into the front line as well. Dropped a little Soul Blight on him to bring his armor down. Can make those Minotaurs go to town. Broken the Cav. Got my Gorgon going after the Bastiladon now. He's pissed. He's killed some Velociraptors. He's still hungry. He wants some tasty Bastiladon meat. Charges in with a lovely pirouette. Ballet Gorgon. Should hopefully go to town on this Bastiladon. Saurus Warriors pushing through, giving my infantry a bit of trouble. My Goreherd probably not going to stand up to Saurus Warriors overall. My Jabberslith though, still in melee, dropping his constant combat damage debuff. There is a flock of doom coming in on us though. Breaking some Saurus. The spears have arrived. A little bit late to the party. Chameleon Skinks still on the runaround. But we're doing well at running them through. Those Bastiladons didn't get the time to really do any work with their ranged attack. Still got my Groghooves throwing their axes around. Trying to finish off these cold ones. They're never going to catch us. They've been poisoned. We're speedy. We've got regeneration. We're lovely. My Gorgon chopping his way through the Bastillodon. Got him down to about half health. The other one now. Trying to disrupt him with the Jabber Scythe. Getting stuck into some chameleons. Going to try and give that Bastillodon a slap. He does do little flying attacks. He can move when he has to. Bringing in the Minotaurs. Bringing in some Goreherd. Bringing in the Caster on his Tuskor. We're looking good. We're all good. The Bastillodon's not maybe the best choice against these rushy Beastmen that don't give you much time to use them, especially as they can do some pretty strong Vanguard builds. Taurox has just been going mental all over the place, trying to get after the Caster here. Trying to take him down as quickly as possible. He tries to get out of there. Can he escape? Taurox is rolling after him. He's got him wavering. I think Krokgar went down a while ago, or at least routed off. Jabber Scythe still just going mental, spewing all over the floor. Gorgon taking care of one Bastillodon. Has taken a fair bit of damage himself, even with his regeneration. And hasn't really quickly chopped through this Bastillodon by any means, so... a little surprising that that took so long for the Gorgon. You'd think he'd be a bit more of a fast damage output smasher. But one of the Bastillodons remain, and that is about it. A little bit of Saurus. Nothing that's going to hang on too long with all of these big boys around. So some really nice units added for the Beastmen. Really completes their roster a little bit more, giving them these single entity large monsters that do have some speed to them. Because before it was only the Giant, who was obviously a little bit niche in his usage, and the Cygor, who is mostly a ranged unit. So neither really good for being a single entity monster that can charge around all over the place. But now they've got that, let's have a look at some kills. Taurox doing a lot of work there, 2,500. Big man was going to work. Bit of work from the Caster. Infantry not doing too bad. Not a great deal from the Centaurs or the throwing axes. Minotaurs doing a bit of work. Jabber Scythe, only 1,000. He needs bigger blobs really to really make the use of his Mortis Engine kind of effect. So not a great fight for him. Not bad from the Gorgon as well, 1,600. Munching down that Bastillodon. And we kept those Bastillodons from doing too much damage, which was a big loss. Krokgar did a bit. Saurus couldn't do too much either. We pounded them with monsters. And it kept these lizards in check. So there we go. Some of the new Beastmen units in action. They have seemed pretty fun so far. I'll be excited to try them out against more people in multiplayer to really get a feel for them and to play different players of different levels who try different things. It'll be interesting to really see where the Beastmen stand now in the multiplayer hierarchy. Are they now the new meta? Are they now the top faction? I feel like no is probably the answer there, but I think they've definitely come up a bit. They're definitely up there now. They're not right at the bottom as one of the worst factions for multiplayer, but I doubt the best. But we'll see. We'll see how people use them. We'll see what people can do and get creative with the new lords and abilities and all the units. It's going to be interesting. And of course, the general buffs to the Beastmen faction and some of the existing units is also going to help them out, assuming that they've got them. Haven't seen the patch notes yet. Hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks for watching. See you in the future.